There are places so eerie, so drenched in silence and darkness, that even the bravest only whisper their names. These aren't places you find on maps. These are places you feel in the shift of the wind, in the way the shadows linger just a little too long. And one of the most chilling among them is Crybaby Bridge. By daylight, it's just another decaying rural overpass, cracked wood, rusted rails, forgotten by time. But when the sun goes down, the air thickens and something changes. The bridge seems to breathe. It watches. Locals have long spoken of a sound so unnatural, so sorrowful. It cuts straight through the night like a knife, a soft, fragile wail, the unmistakable cry of a baby echoing through the fog. Some say if you stand alone on that bridge at midnight, in complete silence, you'll hear it too. And once you do, you won't be able to shake it. The sound follows you, burrows into your memory, haunts your sleep. That one chilling moment when your blood runs cold becomes a part of you. Crybaby Bridge is more than just a place. It has become a symbol of grief, of tragedy, of something broken that can never be fixed. The legend traces back to the 1800s. A young woman, cast aside by the man she loved, wandered the dirt road that led to the bridge. In her arms, her infant child, her eyes hollow, her mind somewhere far beyond the world of the living. They say she stood there for hours, silent and still, rocking the baby in her arms as if trying to lull herself into believing everything was fine. But the night was cold, and the silence around her too deep. Eventually, she stepped onto the edge. With one final whisper, she vanished into the dark waters below. Since that night, strange things have happened. Some swear they hear her not screaming, but weeping. Her voice, soft and broken, drifting with the wind. They say her spirit never moved on. She's still there, trapped in that moment, wandering the bridge, forever searching for the child she lost. And if you find yourself there after dark, be quiet, listen. The wind might be carrying more than just leaves. From Ohio to Texas, scattered across the backroads and outskirts of forgotten towns, there are bridges with stories that feel too familiar, too specific. Each one bears a different name, a different date, a different tragic detail, but somehow, they all echo the same pain. Crybaby bridges, as they're called, are stitched across the map like scars, reminders of grief too deep to be buried. The legend drifts across the American landscape like smoke, unseen, but never far. In every version, a woman who lost her child, a baby's cry piercing the silence of night, shadows that linger just beyond your reach, different towns, different voices, but the story never truly changes. Some believe these bridges are more than coincidence, that each one holds a fragment of a single sorrowful spirit, or perhaps the same spirit fractured across the country, doomed to wander from place to place, never finding peace. And if you ever find yourself on one of these crossings, standing alone at midnight, be still. Don't speak, just listen, because sometimes it's not you finding the legend, it's the legend finding you. I heard the baby cry, but I was alone. It's a sentence repeated again and again by truck drivers on long-haul night shifts, by teenagers looking for a thrill, and even by seasoned paranormal investigators who thought they'd seen it all. The details vary, but the feeling is always the same: dread. Some describe the brush of invisible fingers against their skin, cold, light, and gone in an instant. Others swear they saw shapes moving within the mist, not fully formed, not fully human, just watching. Voices sometimes whisper from the shadows, not words, just a sound, presence. And the moment you try to focus on it, it vanishes like smoke. These stories come from different mouths, from different towns, but together they form a pattern, one that suggests something very real is happening, something no one can fully explain. And those who've had a taste of it say the memory never fades. The bridge becomes part of them, a question they carry for the rest of their lives. What did I hear that night? And what if it was real? There's a detail that comes up again and again, something physical, something left behind. Visitors who dared to stop their cars on Crybaby Bridge overnight, even for just a few minutes, often awoke or returned to find something chilling. Tiny handprints. Not just one, several. Small, damp, smeared across windshields, windows, and hoods. No footprints around the vehicle. No signs of anyone nearby. Just those cold, unmistakably childlike prints appearing in places no child should have been able to reach. Some are pressed firmly, others as if dragged, like a hand sliding down the glass. It's not a prank. It's not dirt or moisture. Witnesses say they tried to wipe them away, and the prints came back, fainter but still there, as if someone is trying to be noticed. Many believe it's the spirit of the infant from the legend, still trapped, still reaching, not to hurt but to be held, to be remembered, to be freed from a grief so deep, even death couldn't contain it. For decades, Crybaby bridges haven't just drawn curious thrill seekers, they've attracted serious investigators, paranormal researchers, ghost hunters, even university-backed study groups have come, hoping to capture proof of what so many have only whispered about. They arrive with gear, night vision cameras, electronic voice phenomenon recorders, EMF detectors, instruments designed to catch the things we can't see or aren't supposed to. Hours pass in darkness. The bridge creaks, the wind stirs, and then something happens. Some claim to have recorded high-pitched wails too soft for the human ear, infant-like, distant, but distinct. Others report faint whispers captured on static-laced tape, voices that say nothing clear, yet feel intentional. Shadows crossing the bridge have been filmed quick, darting movements with no source. Skeptics always push back. They say it's the wind, reflections, overactive imagination. But those who've stood on that bridge at 3 a.m., with every hair on their body raised, they don't need scientific proof. They know. Because once you've felt that cold silence shift, once you've heard that cry, nothing stays the same. Over the years, scientists and skeptics alike have tried to pull the legend of Crybaby Bridge into the realm of reason. They offer theories, explanations grounded in physics, biology, and psychology. And on the surface, some of them seem plausible. Some claim it's the wind-sharp gusts slipping through rotting wooden beams, creating eerie, high-pitched tones that resemble a baby's cry. Others blame nocturnal animals, owls, foxes, even cougars whose nighttime calls, distorted by fog and distance, can sound disturbingly human. Psychologists point to the power of the mind. If you're expecting fear, you'll find it. A dark road, a chilling story, and your brain begins to fill in the blanks. Sounds that aren't there, shadows that move on their own. It's pattern recognition, survival instinct gone rogue. But even the most rational minds falter when confronted with something they can't explain. The handprints, small, damp, and human in shape, left behind on windshields and car doors where no child could have reached. These aren't illusions. They don't vanish in daylight. They remain, as if something wants to be seen and remembered. Psychologists have long studied the mind's ability to create meaning from chaos. They call it pareidolia, a trick of the brain that makes us see faces in clouds or hear voices in the rustle of leaves. It's a survival instinct, honed over thousands of years. Better to imagine danger than to miss it. But on a place like Crybaby Bridge, that instinct can become a trap. The darkness isn't just empty, it pulses with potential. Every creaking board, every shifting shadow becomes a canvas for fear. Alone on the bridge at midnight, your senses sharpen, and your brain starts connecting dots that might not be there. Some people claim they've seen figures tall, thin, barely formed. Others hear voices calling their name from just beyond the trees. But when they play back the recordings, there's nothing, except the feeling that something watched them. Mass hysteria is real too. One person screams, and suddenly everyone hears the cry. One gasp and the entire group believes. But even the most skeptical minds agree, Crybaby Bridge feels different. Heavy, electric, like the legend itself is watching and waiting. Not all Crybaby Bridges are created equal. Across the United States, certain locations have gained infamy not just because of the legend, but because of what people claim has actually happened there. Encounters that go beyond folklore and enter the realm of the terrifying. In Texas, multiple drivers have reported the same phenomenon. Their engines suddenly stalling the moment they reach the center of the bridge. No warning, no mechanical reason, just dead silence and the flicker of headlights. One woman said she felt like something unseen was pressing down on her chest until she rolled backward off the bridge. In Ohio, during the early 1980s, a group of teenagers parked on the bridge for a dare. They expected nothing, but what they heard, a baby's cry echoing from under the structure, sent them screaming back to town. They never returned. They refused to speak about it for years. In Maryland, paranormal investigators brought high-grade equipment. What they captured was chilling. Bursts of static on the radio, interspersed with faint voices that didn't match anyone present. One voice whispered a single word: help. Each of these accounts, different places, different decades, adds another piece to a puzzle that refuses to fade. And even now, people keep returning, not for answers necessarily, but to feel that fear for themselves, to brush against the unknown, and maybe, just maybe, walk away changed. Crybaby Bridge remains one of the most haunting and mysterious legends in American folklore, a story that refuses to die, no matter how many times it's examined, debated, or dismissed. Paranormal investigators have brought their tools. Skeptics have brought logic. Locals bring only warnings. And yet, no one has truly explained what happens on these bridges after dark. For some, it's an urban myth, a chilling tale passed down through generations to scare kids away from danger. But for others, it's something more, something real, something waiting. The truth, if there is one, lies in the spaces science can't reach, in the silence between the wind and the cry, in the shadows that flicker just past the headlights, in the fingerprints that can't be washed away. And maybe, just maybe, the legend lives on because it's not finished with us yet. So if you ever find yourself crossing one of these bridges at night, and the road ahead is empty, stop the car, kill the engine, let the silence take hold. If you hear the sound of a baby crying on the wind, soft, distant, impossible, leave quickly, because some doors once opened don't close again.